getting here. Hi, everyone. It's me, Kisma, with visionaryartistpath.com, and I am ready to have some fun with you. And yeah, I think we've got some activities today that are more arts and crafty, but that can be utilized in your art journaling and your cosmic smash booking. So it's multi-use. Anyways, also I just want to say to you, my spring classes are now open for registration. So visit my website to see what those are. I've got some phenomenal deals. My Visionary Artist Path bundle program is 50% off right now. You get three different programs in that bundle that are usually $1,200, and I'm doing a COVID compassion process right now, and so I'm offering most everything for 50% off. A lot of my spring classes I'm also offering for sliding scale, so 50% to full price, whatever your income, comfort, you know, spending level is. Also, just an update, the Goddess Moons Facebook group, which is open to women still. You have time to come in and join us. At the end of this month, February, I begin the Goddess Moons Oracle card course that is only available to members of Goddess Moon's Facebook group. So if you're really, really interested, get on board now before I start that course, because I have that also set at a sliding scale from $60 to $120. And that is a 6-month process that we'll be doing with that. And our classes will be in Zoom and blah, blah, blah. You can get all the information you want from the Goddess Moons Facebook group if you're interested. I have already shared some of the Oracle card process, just a very simple beginning foundational process, and one way of making cards. That's only one way of the 8 different ways I'll be sharing with you. So if you liked what you saw here on Twitch, then please, by all means, come on board, because it will get very developed. And also, just so you know, those Twitch recordings are on their way out. So slowly they are going off of the Twitch account. I am not highlighting them. That was only a promotion and a premiere for the private Goddess Moon's Oracle process that I'm doing this year. Maybe in 2022 I'll offer a public course. Okay, there you have it. So what are we doing today? Well, we're working watercolor. We're going to do watercolor, and we're going to be making how stupid. Look, at people spam everywhere. You just can't get away from idiots in life. They just spam, spam, spam. So what can I say? All right, so here we go. Here is a sample of what we're going to be making today. So it's just 140 pound or 300 G's watercolor paper. No gesso is used, so we're working with the raw paper. And the way it goes is that when we start painting, we start on the back side. So you see that? See how it's all one continuous, my camera's not long enough, card. And then we fold it, and when we fold it, we fold a big side in and we fold the little side over. Or if you want the big side over, you can do that. It's totally up to you, but the idea is that you, on the little side, you definitely add the attachment so that it looks continuous. Okay, and then we're also going to be making just a basic simple card. And again, it's the same thing. We start on the back and we do our design, and then we fold it, and when you open it, it's got a little doodah inside. So these become little miniature prints that you're making for the special people in your life, whether it be your lover, your spouse, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, a best friend, your mother, your sister, your brother, whoever, you know what I mean? Imagine that you receive in the mail a handmade card like this that someone has painted for you and then inscribed a poem or something special. That's pretty cool, huh? All right, let's look at supplies. It depends on the size that you want. For example, if you want a card that's this big, you're gonna need to work with this size of watercolor paper. I'm sorry I'm showing it to you upside down, but it's the 18 by 24 inch. So it's the big boards, the big paper. But I'm not going to work that size because it's too awkward on my table here. So what I'm going to show you two other sizes to work with. If you work with this size, which is a 12 by 18, you're going to get a fairly nice size card. Or if you work with this size, which is 11 by 15, you're going to get a nice size too. Depends on how many cards you want to make. So I'm going to work with this size just for the demo aspect, and we'll get one card off of it. If you were going to do just opening, cards like this, right? A standard card, then you're going to do it this way. And you can get, what, 3? 1, 2. Okay, so you could get 2 like this, and then you have a strip down here that you could actually do a small folding card. So a couple things to think about. I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate how to do this one because I think it's more fun. All right, so the first thing that I do with this is determine how the height of the card. This is the depth of the card. This is the height of the card. And so I'm looking that I want it to be 3/4 of the size. So let me just measure that off and we'll start ripping. So I think that's a nice size right there. So the nice thing about the aqua pens is that when you are going to rip watercolor paper and you want those nice, cool, frayed edges, just go over your watercolor paper with the water pen or a paintbrush, a clean paintbrush dipped in water, and just go over your line like that. And sometimes you have to let it sit for a moment. So just be aware of that for the water to sink in. I fold it up and go over it again. And then we're going to go ahead and start it gently at the top. This is heavy paper. And then begin to pull it towards us. And here's the thing, you don't really care how much it frays, because although this, I don't want it really messy like that. But this is the easiest way if you don't have a large paper cutter. Okay. Now, all right, there we go. So That's going to be at the bottom, or it could be at the top, your choice. So then what you're going to do is you're going to decide how you want this to be. So I'm just holding it over to determine how I'm going to fold it, which I think I'm going to do it like that. So here we go. If you were doing this in a Cosmic Smash book, then you're gonna glue this side down, or one of the smaller sides down. You could even glue that, but not really. You're gonna glue the back side down. So you're kind of changing the process just a little bit. And having open windows, and you don't have it the full size of your, you wouldn't have it the full size of your page. You want it to be framed by the page. All right. So you see how this is going to be, I'm doing it just a little differently. Whoops. Size-wise, but you can mail this in an envelope really easily. And then it opens, see that? And then it's going to open again. All right. So you have to kind of decide how you want to, what you want to paint. Ribbons, flowers, whatever. The flower, doing a pansy-like flower is the easiest, and doing vine ribbons between them is the easiest, but you get as creative as you want. I'm going to demonstrate this. And the other thing I am going to use are a couple different supplies. I'm going to use my watercolors, of course, my handy dandy watercolors. Let me give those a spritz so they start getting light and easy. All right. And then I'm going to use some ink pens also, some liquid ink pens. See, a whole different array of colors. Okay. Now what I do want to do before I even start painting is I do want to designate don't have to worry there. I don't have to worry there. I don't have to worry there. Okay, let's just start painting, shall we? So, for the most part, I'm going to paint, I'm going to do wet on wet. So that just means I'm going to decide where my first flower is, which I really want it to go right in this area. So I'm just going to get a little bit of that wet. Okay, let's have some fun. Now it's okay to use definers at the end. Don't when you're watercolor painting, don't use like markers or micro pens. Don't outline before. Outline after you're done. You want your colors to really have that pretty run. So I've already used 3 colors right in through there. I don't know if you've been keeping tabs or not. I'm going to leave my center just undone at this time. Okay. And then I know I want this page to be really, really bold and big. So again, I'm going to get this wet. And since I'm going to be doing my flowers pretty much the same, I don't care that I am seeing markings right now, right? This is also a great card to do for someone who's sick and just needs to be a little cheered up, all right? Handmade things, especially if your family knows that you're an artist, but you've never painted anything for them. I am serious. These become precious. Really, really, really precious. I'm getting some pieces of watercolor in there. Okay. Now the question is, do I want to put another little flower here, or do I just want it to be 2 flowers? It's pretty easy to think about, and you just kind of go with your flow. I am, however, going to put a little tiny bud-like flower right here. Again, if I was going to use this in a Cosmic Smash book or an art journal as an embellishment, then I wouldn't be painting on part of this. I'd go ahead and paint my flowers so that they, you get that sense that there's more than you can see, right? But I wouldn't fully paint this side. I would probably paint the inside first, and I might do the entire ribbon on the inside. Okay. You see how in each I've left the center because I want to paint the centers a different color, but I don't quite want to do that while it's wet. I'll blot it in a minute, which I rarely do, but for the sake of this twitch. So now what I want to do is I want to bring my ribbon, or my ribbon vine, I should say. All right. So again, wet on wet, depending how you want to do it. Get that over there. These are so simple, so quick and easy, and they're so, so pretty. Don't worry about this side yet. We'll get to those in just a minute. I want to bring in another color here and there. Okay. And one more right here. I'm just dropping these colors in mostly. Okay. So we'll set this one off and let it start to dry as I bring in the other one. So now I have this size left over from the paper. And guess what? It could be a really cool card also, depending on how you want to do it. But I'm going to make it so that it opens that way. Okay. So it opens up like this. And this would be really cool in an art journal or in a Cosmic Smash book, because here would be the page, right? Let me get a Cosmic Smash book. Hold on. Okay. So for example, here would be a page, right? Let's find an empty page. And you would take a configuration like this, and you would of course do your background however you're going to do it, or wait until you're done to do it after your intention and your blessing and all of that. And then you would create one of these, and you would glue it down like this so that it opens. And if this were me, if this were mine, I would add a button, glue down a button right there, and poke 2 holes and bring out some raffia like this, so that the raffia closes down over the button, and it holds it closed until you open it up. And that could be really, really beautiful. Maybe I'll do that with this one. Let's see. Okay, so again, if I'm going to do this and glue this down, I'm not going to put anything here. I'm not going to put anything there, all right? And I'm going to open it up, and instead, I'm going to paint the inside. I'm going to make this more of I'll put a poem in there, so I'm going to bring some flowers down and flowers coming up. How does that sound? So let's get that going. So I'm going to start here, and I'm just going to get this wet. I don't care what color, because it's just going to be some flowers. And maybe I'll even use those paint pens. Well, yeah, let's use a paint pen. Let's use this. Okay. Let's begin by just painting and making a flower, right? Just a shape of a flower, however it wants to be. And then over here, the same thing. I'm going to put a flower so that it's coming down. Maybe over here, just the side of one. And up here, just the side of one. Okay. I gotta get the paint out, just a sec. Just a sec. It's gonna come. Okay. I gotta get it. There we go. let's bring in, yeah, one more color, I think. And then we'll have a nice, varied. Again, I'm leaving my centers unpainted. I'm not worried about here because I'm going to define everything with a pen, a watercolor pen marker when I'm all done. I just want the sense of color explosion there. And now we want to do the bottom, right? We want to do the bottom down here. So again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to come in and I'm going to get it wet. I'm just going over the whole thing. Okay. Maybe a bud. We'll do a bud, okay. Something that hasn't fully opened yet. Right there. Okay. Yep. Got a got a little color going there. That's okay. We'll just blend it with our green. That's watercolors. I'm going to add a couple of little blends right in through here. We'll be adding some leaves in a minute, but okay, and then let's put in a second green. This time I'm adding just a little bit of brown. All right, so I'm going to put this aside to let this dry also right now. We'll bring back the other one. Okay, so this isn't completely dry, as you can see, but it's dry enough to where we can continue and we can move on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring yellow into those centers, okay? And I'm going wet on dry. So I'm not adding any more water. And I'm just bringing in some yellow, and not filling up the whole space, because I'm going to add some green in there. I'm really just kind of dotting around. Just squiggling around. Okay. All right, now here's where we need to calculate, right? Because they're going to fold together. I can't do it with that so wet though. Normally, again, like I'm saying, I would let this completely dry, but I need to fold it again, so I'm going to have to dab this. See how it lightens it up dramatically, which is a shame, but okay. So then what you're doing is you're coming over it, right? Deciding which way. And we're looking at bringing it about right up here. Okay. So I'll add see this little guy, we need this little guy to kind of come in. So let's do this. Now, if you want to put leaves on it, right? If you're wanting to put leaves on it, then you have to be strategic with your leaves. I think a leaf right there would be nice, maybe two. I think it would be nice to put that kind of looks like a leaf. You could actually turn it into a leaf. You could actually turn this into a leaf, you know. You could turn that part into a leaf. You're going to define it all later with your your paintbrush, your markers, sorry. I don't know. I kind of like the simplicity of it. Again, I'm going to let this completely dry, and then come in and you'll see we'll define it. I'll give it a blow dry if I have to, and then we'll go from there. So let me do that right now. So plug your ears. Now make sure you don't have any puddles anywhere when you blow dry, because it will move the paint. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this to it's almost dry. It's pretty well dry. I'm gonna go back to the other one. I'm gonna leave this for a sec. We're gonna bring out this other one. And I'm gonna hit it with the blow dryer so I can finish them both off for you. That's almost dry. Let's get in there. Now I will do the centers with markers, with watercolor markers. So I'll set that over there so you see. Let's come back here, see how dry this is. Still, this is wet in here. That's wet. Let's blot it. The cool thing about blotting is it does give some variegation, but it takes away the paint too. But this is pretty well dry. Still. I'm going to hit it one more time. Okay, so you saw me turn it over and dry the backside. This is watercolor paper. It absorbs water, so that means that when you turn it over it can sometimes be a little damp on this side, on the back side of where you're painting. So if you hit it with a blow dryer and this now feels completely dry, it helps the process, the drying process up above, especially if you're doing watercolor layers. Okay, so all I'm bringing in now are some watercolor markers, and I'm being very light with them. I'm going to use the fine tip pen because I don't really want to ruin the watercolor effect. But what I want to do is I want to just bring in a little definition here and there. And so by doing that, it gives the eye something to hold on to. Even if it's not fully seen, it does help the eye. Now, if I were to go over that with a aqua pen, it would blend it all. But you see, it just gives it a tiny, tiny bit of definition. Then I am going to take my yellow. Let me leave that out because I'm not done with it. And I'm going to come right into here and I'm going to darken that. Then I'm going to bring some yellow out into the leaves. I got this out. Let me go over the rest of them real quick. So all I did was I also follow the shapes of the watercolors because they kind of define. Okay, let's get this. This looks like a leaf that's coming from this direction. Not even on this side from that flower, which it could. All right. So now if you like the watercolor look, which I do, I love it, but some people need to see things defined. That's why I'm doing it, is to show you how you can come in with markers and give a little more depth, but you know, really I would say just leave it the way it is, the way you paint it, because I think that's the coolness of working with watercolors. Okay. So Now, if you were, I didn't plan this properly, I would put it like that and then open it up like this. One of the things you could do, let me show you. Okay. One of the things you could do would be to fold it like that, right? And to continue the leaf, like you could even, let me show you. I'll do it with a pencil real lightly. So I could continue the leaf like this, right? And then put another flower up here and a flower over here and maybe a big flower there with some vines coming in so that it's really, and then what you would do, see, the cool thing is the leaf would continue here, and then here's where you would write your things. So let's do that. Let's put that leaf right there. Okay. So again, I put my flower right in here. Put a flower right there. And I'd put a flower right here. Okay. So let's put our flowers. See, it really does become a miniature piece of art when you make things like this. Gonna leave the 3 centers. Just a sec, I got pigment on my fingers. Now don't forget, you don't have to use the solid colors. You can blend your colors. You can make light pinks and all kinds of things, you know, with your watercolor paints. You can blend them just like you can acrylics and oils. So I'm just for ease and showing and demonstrating this, showing you simple form, and then leave it to you to go into your advanced form. Now I wouldn't put a bunch of vines in here. Instead, what I will do is just add leaves. I'll bring in leaves and make this like the top of the bouquet so that there's leaves everywhere coming in. And I'll use 2 colors again. Maybe another one out here too. I think that would be really beautiful because it'll show from the top that it's continuing, right? Then you have all this space here to write something lovely to your loved one. Okay. All right, we'll set this off to the side to dry a little bit while we finish up the other one. So here we are with it. It's pretty, it's nice, and it's dry. So let's add the centers in. Okay. Maybe a little green, do you think? I think. Okay. We're going to make little small leaves in here. Not great big leaves. Just little leaves. Of course, I'll add another color, don't worry. Okay, now these I'm not going to define. I'm going to leave them very light and easy like that. So here we are, right? So let me just hit it with a blow dryer real quick. Okay, now here we go. So that's the inside of your card. Now you could easily paint the outside, but look at that. That already has a little bit of something for me. So I think what I am going to do is take a, because this is going to be glued down, I'm just going to, is this the color I want? Wait just a sec. I want a lighter color. Yeah, this is the color I want. So I'm just going to take and I'm going to do a little frame. Around it. I want this. Be a little more. I think I'm going to do another color too. I'm a two-tone person. Let's bring in another color. And I'm going beyond the folds so that it doesn't look like it just suddenly stops there. And let's bring in one more color. Let's come back to that original color and go over that now. Just to blend it out. And see how it mixes the two colors together. It really makes it look cool, I think, but you might not. Now, if you wanted to, of course, this is going to be glued down onto your page. This is going to fold up. This is going to fold over. Shall we put our raffia and button on so that you see it? Why not, right? Okay, let me get a button. Hold on. Let me do a station identification. I'll be right back. Be right back. I have buttons. Several different buttons we can use. I get my raffia. have my hole punch right here. Handy dandy hole punch. Okay. KismaVisionaryArtistPath.com. We're going a little over the hour, but I think you're okay with that because we're almost done. So here we are back to this one. So now here's the thing. If you wanted to do flowers and stuff like that, of course you absolutely can. Now I have several buttons that we can choose from, depending on the look we want. I've got all of these. These are kind of like steampunk, but I thought I had a, yeah, I have a heart one here that would work. But if I use the heart one, which would be kind of cool, I think, I would need to maybe put it there. And no, I think right there. And I would only put a drop right in the center, right? And I would use a glue gun for that to really fix it down. And then my raffia would come out here and would loop over that heart. That's one idea. What do I have in here? What buttons do I have in here? This is a candle. I love the blue. Oh, okay, I have these. I don't think these colors will go well, so let's put that out to the side. And then I have these lovely buttons. Boy, these are really beautiful buttons too. And look at that one would go perfect, wouldn't it? That would go perfect. So with that one, we want something bright and cherry. It looks like those would be the two. Or maybe that one. Okay, it looks like I have three. That's more of a mandala. Okay, let me put the rest of these away. Now, one of the things you could do, and I'm not going to do it here, I'm sorry, I guess, because then I would have to go get other supplies and stuff. But I will do a simulation of it. I will put it down with a glue stick just to hold it in place. And then I think I'm going to use one of these, not the heart, because it's just so cheery. And I like the way it looks, although the heart is so sweet. Oh my gosh, I could dangle the heart off or glue the heart onto the page or glue these around on the page and use the heart as the closer. Maybe I'll do that. I think maybe I'll do that. So I think I'll come in and I'll do a Cosmic Smash book page with fixing it down and stuff like that. So let's finish. Oops, not you. It wanted to sneak in. Did you see that? Maybe it's the sun. Maybe it's the sun. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm just going to use a glue stick to fix this in place. But ultimately, I think I'll put it down with a glue gun and just a dot in the middle. But for now, just to hold it in place, a little bit of a glue stick. Because I don't want it to go more than just the center, you see? Just the center. Because we don't want it to glue all the way down. Okay, there is that stuff. Let's get it right in the middle. This might actually be enough to hold it too. You never know. This glue stick, this brand of glue stick, it's called Super Stick. Man, it is good glue stick. That was given to me by one of my students about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago maybe. And she gave me a whole pack of them, I love them. Okay, I think I would put that right there and just push it down. And then for my raffia, that would go around it. I don't need a very thick piece, and I don't need a very long piece, and I don't have scissors. Hold on. My friend Terry always goes, "How do you come up with these things?" Well, when you watch my Twitch, you kind of see how my mind works. It just starts filling up with ideas. And that's the truth of it. Okay, so I think the best way to do this is I'm going to punch 2 holes. And if you have one of these, what is it? If you have one of these, what are they called? I don't know, crocodile or whatever they're called. You can do that, and use your little and finish off your holes and everything. Which is probably, if you were going to give it to somebody, I would do that. But I'm just going to use an old-fashioned hole punch, and I'm going to put one here. And put one here, and then I'm going to take my raffia. I'm going to use both strands. I got to get both of those through. And I'm going to need it to be about, remember the button isn't going to move, so you have to move. Your ribbon your raffia, if you're using raffia, it needs to be long enough to where you can bring it down over. Okay, let's do this. I think this will make it easier. Just a sec. Oh, a long Twitch today, right? Okay, what can I say? I got those 2 through there. I got these through there. And let's do, oops, this one came out. Let me grab all of these. All I've done is looped it through. You can see how I've looped it through. So here are my ends, and I'm going to just pull this down. And I honestly think that is going to be long enough. And then I'm going to take these, and I'm going to knot them right on top here. Then I'll have all these pretty dangles. Okay, see, and there's my loop. And once that dries, I'll be able to stick it under where I should be. And if not, then like I said, I'll put it on, I'll lift it up with something. It's cute. You could put the name, and then you open it up and it's glued into your Cosmic Smash book or your art journal. And maybe you paint your background, you glue some of these buttons on or whatever around it. And then here's where you write your affirmation or your poem. This would be a really good haiku poem container. It's really sweet. Let's see if we can get this. Okay, now it might bring the heart off because the glue is not yet dry. But I'm going to give you an idea of what it's going to look like. Yeah, see, I'm going to have to, maybe I'll just sew these on. Maybe I'll just sew my heart on. Do some little boink boink with it. Would be okay if there was a little bit of a thread there. Maybe I'll do that. I think I'll do that. See, you just can sew things on. Yeah. Because otherwise, I think this is just going to take too long to dry, and you're never going to see what it looks like. All right. So I'll show you it in another twitch when it's all finished. I'm not going to continue to glue it. Let me wipe up that glue. Baby wipe. Baby wipe takes care of everything. Oh, and look at how the baby wipe's leaving just a little light pink on it. That's kind of cool. All right, let's come back to this other one to do a final look at it and put its center in. Here we are with it. It's so pretty, isn't it? I love watercolor flowers. I really do. All right, let's put its yellow center in. So pretty. So pretty. Oh, this doesn't really work. I was going to put some little like beep, beep, beep things, but it doesn't really work. But I'll bring it in just a tiny bit so it doesn't look weird in one spot. Very pretty. So here you have it. This is a card. They open, they're going to go, oh my, and you can write things all around the back. They're going to open it up and they're going to go, oh my, because look at how cool that is as a gift. That's a Valentine's Day gift right there for your sweetheart. So not much more is needed, to be perfectly honest, in my opinion, but maybe in yours you think more is needed. You do what you want, it's yours. But then here you would write your message, maybe their name right here or whatever, and even a couple of beautiful words right there to them. So here we are. Now you have seen how to do a couple of things and a couple of variations, and here we go with a very large one, right? And that goes like this. See how I folded it over? And then you could do that style. It goes all the way around the back with just that and opens up. Or you could just do a smaller open card like that. It's very pretty with words in there. Here's a card that's really embellished all the way around. Words here. And then this is perfect for an art journal or a cosmic smash book, or even to give to somebody. But if you're going to give to somebody, then you need to embellish the back as well. All right, my friends, we come to the end of my Thursday Twitch session, and this is Kisma with VisionaryArtistPath.com. Come and support me. I give a lot of things away for free. It's really nice to know that my artistry and my creativity is also supported and appreciated by two things. One, follow me on Twitch. Yep, follow me on Twitch. That's a simple push of the button. The second thing is come to my website, subscribe to my website, and take a look at the more formal classes I offer. They're not like this. These are fun, quick, easy classes. Those are serious painting classes. So if you like what you see in all the freebie stuff, then I guarantee, in fact, I'll give you a guarantee that if you don't like what you experience in my paid classes, I will refund your money. And right now all my spring classes are being promoted, and I am doing a COVID compassion discount at this time, 50% off, lots of sliding scales for everyone to find a perfect fit for you, for yourself financially. Last but by no means least, if you have been watching the Oracle, Goddess Moon's Oracle classes here on Twitch, they are done, they are over, they are going away off of Twitch, and you must be in the Goddess Moon's Facebook group in order to enroll in the 6-month program of creating your own Oracle deck, start to finish, not paper. I'm not talking paper. I'm talking about all the way to publication. All right, my friends, have a great rest of your day. I'm looking forward to seeing you on Sunday. It'll be around noonish Pacific time. And until then, have fun creating. Create every day. Take care. Bye-bye for now.